All right, Merts, welcome to the CineMerts podcast. We're Max Coulson and Levi Johnson. We're a couple of guys who like films. We like films about big, bald men rubbing alcohol all over their face.
Sensual. Seductive.
These work so much better if I actually have any idea what I'm going to say at first.
Sheer improv.
Yeah, today we watched Blue Ruin.
Yep.
It's a film by Jeremy Saulnier, something like that. He also directed Green Room, which is a very good movie with Patrick Stewart in it, and Anton Yelchin, the one who played Chekhov in the Star Trek remake show, the one who died. That's a really good film. We didn't watch that one. We watched Blue Ruin. Blue Ruin is also a very good movie. Don't know what you thought of it. It was, your first time viewing.
First time seeing it, you're like, hey, do you want to watch this movie, Blue Ruin? I'm like, what the hell's that? You're like, it's a revenge movie. Okay. Actually, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like it. It's nice, simple premise. It actually, the thing that this kind of made me think is, they should give this guy, a chance to make a Kick-Ass or a Super. Just because of how awesome it is that this dude is like, hey, here's a movie that's really grounded. And it's just going to stay really grounded.
Yeah. Honestly, I've seen 3 of his movies. I've seen this, Green Room, and his first movie, Murder Party. And Murder Party is more comedic, but with all 3 of them, there is that sort of hyper-grounded thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also the sort of idea of the premise is something that you could easily see happening in a big Hollywood movie, and a lot of what the character attempts could be done in a big Hollywood movie, but in most other movies it would go very differently, because this isn't like Death Wish. This isn't like Charles Bronson deciding to go on a revenge mission, or some former Green Beret. No, this is just some guy, just some random dude tries to go on a revenge mission, and it goes about as well as you'd expect that to go.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I guess we'll do a plot rundown, because the first thing, really, he gets revenge really early. Or at least it seems that way.
Yeah. It's like a revenge movie.
Yeah. It's more about cycles of revenge. So yeah, he basically, there's this dude. You don't really find out what happened straight away. It's kind of, the backstory is kind of drip fed to you throughout. But there's this guy who I'm realizing I can't remember his name already, and this is why I make notes normally.
Daryl?
Sure.
That's a good point. I don't remember his name neither. Oh.
Senor Pugface. He finds out that someone's being let out of prison, and this is distressing news. So you know that there's some sort of... Well, he's clearly out for revenge right away. It's like, okay, this dude has hurt his family in some way. It's kind of drip-fed throughout that what actually happened is that this dude murdered his parents. So he's out just for revenge on that. And tries to get a gun first, and he steals a gun that has a security lock on it.
Yep.
Tries to remove the security lock, and in doing so just breaks the gun. So then resorts to a knife.
Which is kind of humorous, because you're so used to, Americans just being able to get guns anywhere.
Yeah.
And for a moment, for a guy to be like, I can't get a gun?
Yeah. Well, he's homeless, this dude. So, he's the first thing we see, actually, is that he's broken into someone's house to take a bath.
Well, you see him in a bath.
Well, yeah, you see him in a bath.
And then somebody comes in and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Which actually made me think about, the nature of crime and what counts as crimes. And I was like, hey, so, if there was a dude who would break into your house to use utilities, but would always be, super respectful, never steal anything, kept everything tidy, and you know, went back, like tidied up or whatever, cleaned up, would you be mad? Like, would you call the police? Is it a crime? Like, what if someone was breaking into your house and then just tidying up, like they washed all the dishes? Like,
Yeah.
like I just thought, like, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain works weird, and you know, when I think about committing crimes, I'm like, yeah, I'll break into that guy's house and wash all of his dishes and just leave without a tray. And then he'll be like, "Who washed all the fucking dishes?"
Yeah. Anyway, steals a gun, tries to get the security lock off, breaks the gun, gets a knife instead, tails this family.
Yeah, this is how you discover that it's somebody getting let out of prison. Because I remember we just watching it and being like, so like she just gives him like a rolled up bit of newspaper, and you're like, what the hell's going on, man?
Yeah.
And then yeah, he drives out somewhere, and you see another car come up. And you're like, okay, and then you're like, oh, this is a prison.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nice the reveal to the audience. No one ever just sits down and is like, aside from that time where they sit down and all. But
Yeah. But
this is the plot. But yeah,
it doesn't open with any sort of expo dump. It's just like it lets you figure it out as it goes. Yeah, he tails the family after they've picked up this guy Wade out of prison, and he follows them to their home.
No.
Oh no, follows them to
Follow
a
them
bar.
to a bar.
Follows them to a bar. Hangs out in the bathroom until the dude goes for a piss. Comes out and he stabs him in the neck, right?
Barely.
Yeah.
Like there's a nice shot of blood. Like you're like, oh, I think he might have got him, and then you realize, no wait, no, he just cut the back of his neck. It didn't hit an artery or nothing. Not a main one.
So then very nearly just gets his ass kicked by an unarmed guy while he has a knife. Sort of by sheer luck manages to plunge the knife into the guy's head.
Yeah, like I'm guessing it was the temple.
Yeah. It looks like it. And then leaves the guy just, as is. He's covered in blood. Goes to slash the family's tires and manages to somehow cut his hand in the process.
Yeah, like that was I was like, at first he goes to do it and he goes, ow. I was like, yeah, that's a thing, because that's how they catch killers sometimes, when they use the knife, because there's no handguard, the blade goes back onto the fingers and cuts the finger. And then like you see him look at his hand, he's slashed his entire palm.
Yeah.
How do you knife that bad? When you stab something, you slash your whole palm. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy sucks.
Yeah, this guy's terrible. Then, just to add to that, it turns out he dropped his keys in the bathroom of the bar, so then he has to steal the family's car, which he's slashed the tyres of.
Yeah.
Or one of the tyres of, and it's still got the knife sticking out of it.
And they find out, nice and great, that the car that he had to leave behind is actually his family car.
Yep.
That's still registered to his address.
Yep. Oh, and on top of all that, the car that he steals just still has someone in it.
Yeah. That was such a weird moment, because like they're at this bar, like this young lad, they just like kick him out of the car. He's like, what the hell are you doing in here? Get out of here, kid. And he's like, Wade would never hurt anyone, because Wade's the guy who they think killed his parents. So Wade wouldn't hurt anyone. And he's like, all right, whatever, kid. But like, my thoughts were, wait a minute. So these guys are like, hey, Wade, it's great that you're back. Let's go to this bar and get pissed. You wait in the car. like, hey, we're on for a long whole night, guys. Like, what? They just left him out there in the back of the car. Like, it's fucking sunny as hell as well. It's America, so he must have been sweating his balls off. Like, dude didn't even have like a like, the phones are obviously old. So this guy, he sat there in the back, like not even a Game Boy or nothing, just sat in the back of the car, like, oh, come on, guys.
Oh, man, it's those 21 drinking laws. You see, you just go, sorry, kid, you gotta wait in the car. Like, can't even fucking sit out the front with a fucking cherryade, nothing. Just like.
It's just not legal. You know us, we like to follow the rules.
It's kind of crazy that that's even a thing, to be honest, because in the UK, that's not really a thing. Like, bars will have, like, they'll kick out kids after a certain time of night, but you
Mm.
don't really get, like, not pubs anyway. You don't generally just get pubs that will not allow kids at all. And certainly not teenagers. Just, like,
Yeah.
point blank. They'll just kind of card people after,
They'll just
usually after about, like, 8 o'clock.
yeah, they'll say like, right, you need to get out. But otherwise, yeah, they're like, yeah, if you're sitting in there, they might watch you and be like, hey, don't give him other drinks.
And somewhere like that actually looks like it might be a private members club. They'll do anything. They don't give a shit.
I'm certain that they would do that in America as well. So I'm just genuinely like, why was he in the car for?
Yeah, thinking about it, I mean, I used to go to like a private members club like when I was like way too young to drink, and I'd get served. So it's like because they don't give a shit. It's private. Like they know that no one's going to give a shit.
Who's squealing? Because if you are, your membership's revoked.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And no one else is going to like you neither.
Anyway, so all that happens. He goes and meets his sister, the main character.
His name's Dwight.
Dwight. Okay, cool. Dwight goes and meets his sister and sort of tells her that he killed Wade.
It's like, mission complete.
Yeah. And she seems pretty, like, to be honest, pretty chill about the whole situation, to be honest. She's pretty cool about it.
She's like, hope he suffered.
It's kind of like a kind of tense scene that's then broken because this doesn't happen in usual movie universe. So some dude asks them for ketchup because they're in a cafe. He's like, hey, you got ketchup on your table? I ain't got any. It's like right in the middle of this really like kind of emotional scene. Then it occurs to Dwight that the car is registered, as you pointed out, to his sister.
Or his sister's residence.
Or his sister's residence. So they rush back, and he convinces his sister after a lot of arguing and her suddenly being like, no, fuck you. You brought this on the family. It's like, you were really chill about this. Like,
yeah.
Like,
you're like,
literally 10 minutes ago.
You're like, good job. I give you the title of Big Boss.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, there could be repercussions? You're an idiot.
So yeah, they like his sister goes away with the kids, and he kind of sits in waiting in the house for someone to show up. Doesn't set up any home alone traps.
Yeah, I was like, Home Alone, baby. Oh no, he's not going to do anything. He did try to improvise a weapon.
Yeah.
A garden pitchfork.
Yep. Which doesn't come in useful at all.
Yeah, no, he
just doesn't
literally
happen.
doesn't use it.
Because I don't think he's even near it when they come in.
Which is ridiculous because he sets up the chance for them to come in.
Yeah.
It's actually I will compliment him on this one. It was a good tactic.
Yeah.
Except he didn't have any strategy to get him.
No, because he sucks. But fortunately for him, they kind of suck as well. Because again, this doesn't happen in movie world. This happens in kind of real world.
Yeah.
So there's a dude with a gun and a dude with a crossbow. The dude with the crossbow just keeps missing.
Yeah. I'm like, crossbows are pretty easy, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man's just like not Daryl from The Walking Dead, apparently. Like,
yeah, especially considering like at least the first time he gets shot at, he's indoors, isn't he?
No, he's running. The guy with the crossbow is like peering out of the window.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Okay,
although,
a little bit more of an excuse because wind and things like that.
I don't like the they use the bloody Legolas fucking archery sound where the arrows are.
Yeah,
like arrows don't sound like that.
So he ends up does get hit. He gets hit in the leg.
After running over like a dude with a shotgun.
Yeah. After running over the dude with the shotgun, and he kind of drags that dude into his car.
Yeah, and doesn't take the gun.
Because he gets spooked by gets hit by the crossbow, doesn't
he?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, if you're going to take this guy, just put the shotgun in the car, then pick him up. No, he picks him up, tries to puts him in the car, then gets shot with the crossbow just as he goes to like lean to pick up the... it was like, Jesus Christ, man. priorities.
Yeah, so then he oh god, so like, is that when he seeks out the his sort of military friend?
No,
I know there's
because
some
he
sort
he
of.
has to like go to the hospital first. He's
Oh
got
yeah,
an
yeah,
arrow in his
yeah, of
leg.
course, because oh, that's an important moment. Yeah, he sort of tries to remove the arrow himself,
Oh mate, this
and
I
he
like these kind of scenes.
he honestly, from a planning perspective, does pretty well. He goes to the chemist, uh he gets
Disinfectant.
disinfectant, a scalpel, tweezers, and yeah, he sort of has his shit together. He's also got painkillers and
Yeah, because apparently these guys are rocking with like fucking medieval hunting arrows with
yeah,
like barbed ends, not like
which I'm pretty sure wouldn't even work in a standard crossbow. So it'd have to be some sort of combat
Yeah,
sort of thing.
like normally they just have like
They just
little
have bolts,
bodkin
like
points on the end where they just
yeah,
go
yeah,
in
yeah.
and then you pull them out. But okay, this
But
guy's
maybe
hardcore.
again, America, maybe
Yeah, yeah,
like crossbows that are legal in this country that you can just own are pretty puny. They fire tiny little bolts that you'd have to be very lucky to do that much damage on a person with, honestly.
electrical.
So yeah, he sort of tries to he cuts away the clothing, he disinfects the tweezers, and
Mm-hmm.
he tries to get it out and doesn't really.
Yeah,
So then he like
go.
disinfects the area itself and kind of tries to cut it away, doesn't he? Like cut away like.
I don't know. I thought he just gives it a really hard pull
Oh yeah,
and
actually, yeah.
realizes this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Well, he gets it out. It seems like.
No,
I thought he gets it out and then he goes to the hospital and passes out, and he's
no,
like, "I had an accident on my leg."
I think it's still in his
Oh, is
leg.
it still in?
Yeah, like I don't think he was just like shit.
Yeah.
I tried it like the movies.
Either way,
It don't
yeah,
work
he
that
ends up
way.
having to go to hospital anyway and passes out like the second he's in there, and then Charlie Kelly style just bails from the hospital before
Yeah.
having to give any details.
He's like, which I was like, actually, this is a really clever way of getting around the American medical system.
Yeah, I mean, it only
Like-
works if you're like you weren't carrying any ID on you.
Oh, mate,
there's
but
no way of like.
you just plan. You just plan ahead every single
Yeah.
time. Every time, just walk it, like go, oh, mate, I really need to go to the hospital. So I'll be like, here's like my wallet and all my stuff. Then you walk into the hospital, you go, oh, guys, I'm having appendicitis. And you fall down, you get your appendix surgery done, and then you like, you get up and you leave. Like, see you later.
I don't think that would work for appendicitis. You can totally do it for accidents, but like appendicitis, they're like,
Yeah, but
yeah, we'll make the symptoms go away, but we need to see insurance before we actually do any surgery on
now
it.
if you pass out, they'll be like, his appendix is about to burst. We got to do the surgery now. See, see.
Yeah, open it up, and they're like, "This is fine." He had no idea how to identify appendicitis in his own body. He's clearly suffering from something completely unrelated.
He's a medical marvel. We'll have to like pin him down, like handcuff him to the bed. Send him to Area 51.
His appendix has already been removed. Like you wouldn't notice the scar.
Like, sorry, the surgery.
And yeah, that's when he goes looking through his, I guess, his old like schoolmates,
Yeah.
and finds like this one dude who served in the military. Who, honestly, I kind of love this character.
Yeah, same.
Um,
Because he's basically both things at once. He's two things literally at the same time. It's great.
yeah. Well, because you kind of initially it's like, oh, he's a bullshitter, right?
Yep.
He's this overweight guy who is like a roadie at a venue.
Yeah.
And
Not a barman even.
who's he, barman? Yeah, seems to have a lot of shit to say about being in the military, but it's like, yeah, this is some like, I don't know what the American equivalent of TA is, but some shit like that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, he's just some guy.
He's like, yeah, I
whatever.
was at the Green Berets, you know. I did my army training. Like, you ever killed a man before? Because I have. And you're like, uh-huh.
yeah. And yeah, so he's like kind of showing him like he's trying to get a gun from him. So he buys like the cheapest available, which he uses kind of, you know, quite, I guess, forward thinking enough to be like, okay, I need a gun before I open the boot of my car with this dude in it.
Yeah.
So he does that, gets the guy to like give him some information at first, which is when he reveals that actually, surprise, it wasn't Wade, or at least not that Wade, that killed his parents. It was their dad, who is now already dead from cancer, and Wade Jr. just took the fall for his dad because he didn't have a criminal record yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he would do the smallest stint out of all of them. He then gets him to phone the family to arrange a sort of meet-up.
Yeah, somewhere public.
Yeah.
So that they could hash out that it's all got to end.
And then, he just fucking, he's a moron. So he is tricked. Dwight is a moron. So he is tricked into coming to grab the phone because he's like, oh, she wants to speak to you. And he's like, throw it by my feet. No, just come over here. This is over for me. It's like, why wouldn't you just insist? Like, no, fuck you. Throw the phone
dude,
over.
I have a gun.
Yeah. But no, instead he goes over, gets the gun wrestled out of his hands, and is about to die, but bullshitty army dude just shoots the guy in the face.
Like, just blasts it. Like, you even see it, like, just...
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
And, like, while Dwight's, like, freaking out, like, his head, he's like, yeah, that's what bullets do. Yeah, he's such a great character.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just see a movie about him, to be honest.
Yeah, like imagine how, like, the story would have gone where it, you know, he just gone in and he was like, all right, like, I'll help you out, buddy. And, like, he's just gunning down these guys real easy.
Yeah, well, he's the only one who seems actually... He's the only one in the whole movie who's actually competent, really, with a gun.
Yeah. Like, it was a good strategy. Like, hey, I'm going to try and deal with this guy, but you just be on Overwatch. So if I fuck up somehow, you just handle it.
Yeah. And he does fuck up, because actually at one point Dwight does try to shoot the guy and just misses despite being only like a few feet away. So yeah, then basically from then Dwight goes to that family's house, and they're out. So he sets up a fort, collects up all the guns in the house, throws them in the lake, waits in the fort, falls asleep, is woken up by the lights automatically coming on, freaks out, realizes they're not in, goes to sleep. I guess it's implied that they've been gone for like a few days before he like.
I assume I think he spent like what, one night there, and they came back on the second night.
Maybe yeah, like a couple of days they're gone.
He did dig a grave to bury Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He buries Teddy and pisses on Wade Senior's grave, which it seems like he drank like a shitload of water specifically to do that.
Yeah.
Which I love. He doesn't know when the family are coming home.
Right.
So, like, he's doing all this shit, like, strenuous shit that would put him completely off guard, just for no discernible reason. So, yeah, then the family do come home, and it goes about exactly how you'd expect a story like this to go, to be honest.
Like, he did do a clever thing. He's like, I am going to call the house and leave a voicemail saying, hey, it's me. So I killed, like, that guy and Wade and Teddy. So, you know, that's 2 of mine and 2 of yours.
Mm-hmm.
So this can just end now. I would like you to leave my sister out of it.
Yeah.
And then one guy's like, that's exactly where we're going next. So he's like, well, there you go. I asked him.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he shoots the guy successfully because he switched to a gun that he can use better.
Buckshot, baby.
Yep. And then Dwight ends up getting shot by the kid who was in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Who I guess is supposed to be his half brother. Because it's because basically the reason that his parents got killed in the first place is that Dwight's dad had an affair with the sort of matriarch, the mum of the family, Big Wade's wife, and yeah, so.
And yeah, during his revenge, he killed Dwight's dad, but Dwight's mum had just happened to be in the car, so he was like, whoopsie.
That basically ends up becoming like a just sort of general shootout that, kills all of them apart from the kid, who just sort of walks away from all of it, basically.
Which I'm like, that's gotta be kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, all right, bye, mum.
Yeah.
Bye, auntie. Like,
one thing that I do like though is that the even the shootout has some last minute incompetence in there, which is mainly that if you actually look, the mum completely misses Dwight with the machine gun, but shoots her own sister instead.
what?
Like, yeah, she catches her sister. If you look, the bullets like fly into her sister, and like they completely miss him.
Oh,
the chaos.
I thought Dwight shot both of them.
No, yeah, he does, but she shoots her sister at like the same time he's shooting her. If you look, all the bullets hit her, and he dies from the wound he already had. Maybe she gets a couple of bullets in him. It's sad to say, but like,
oh, okay, shit.
Yeah, she ends up shooting her own sister.
Daughter.
Or is it? Yeah, it's a daughter.
Yeah, I said auntie.
Yeah,
but like I realized actually it would be like big sister.
Yeah. She shoots her daughter instead of him because machine guns are hard to control, and she's panicking.
And yeah, you can't one hand fire like a fucking Uzi.
Yeah. And then that's the movie. That's the plot rundown. I will, I guess, put a spoiler warning at the beginning because I didn't hold back from those at all.
I feel that people would be aware that we go into like full rundowns, right?
Yeah, like because so many people watch this, and there's no way that this could be anyone's first. We have an established fan base of 2 people. What else is going to happen?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we both sort of said that we really like the movie. And yeah, the central theme of everyone being massively incompetent, and
I don't know if it's even necessarily no.
It's more just that it's realistic. It's hyper realistic.
Yeah, because incompetent to me presupposes that there's a level of training already undertaken.
Yeah.
Whereas these people haven't had any training.
Yeah.
They just
like
regular
the most
people.
You could say is that the sort of the crime family, if you like, probably have at least handled guns before.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as it goes.
How many shootouts do they ever get in?
Exactly.
Probably none.
Well, no, because the thing about shootouts is most generally people just don't live through them. Unless they're completely one-sided. That's that.
Yeah.
I said before that's kind of a thing with Jeremy Saulnier's movies in general. I have heard one criticism, I can't remember who said it, that his films are reverse cliched. I disagree. Like, they hit cliche from the other direction by just avoiding every single trope. I don't necessarily know that that's true, but that's definitely a thing, though, is that the one thing you can kind of expect from his movies is that they won't go in the obvious direction. Certainly not in terms of the individual events within the movie.
Yeah. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit salty. Because when they were like, oh my God, like, your kids are at the house. This is back at the diner scene. So they rush back to see if, their house has been attacked. I just, for a split second, envisioned just a completely different movie.
Oh, yeah, you said like, if the kids were kidnapped.
I was like, what if the kids got kidnapped? And then the brother and sister were like, right, well, it's our revenge movie now. And then, like, the movie just completely shifts in tone and it just becomes like an action movie, like a proper stereotype action movie where, like, the 2 of them just go fucking up this family. Like... I don't know why that really speaks to me. To be fair, especially something being so grounded. And
I don't think I've ever seen a brother-sister team-up movie like that.
Neither have I.
I've seen brothers. I think I might have even seen sisters, and I've seen parent-child ones as well. But I don't think I've ever seen brother-sister.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Interesting, but yeah. This movie, it definitely kind of keeps you guessing throughout. but one thing that I also like about it is it's kind of, in a lot of ways, it's got a lot of similarities, and I mentioned this to the sort of kitchen sink dramas, the British hyper realistic dramas, which
Yeah, yeah,
this country produces a lot of. We like them over here.
yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen Happy Valley.
I have not seen Happy Valley, but
It
the name is
is.
familiar to me.
It's like a British police procedural. So it's
Yeah.
real, not pretty. She's wearing a high vis vest and boots,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's like an old woman trying to deal with like her daughter's suicide. Um,
Yeah.
it's actually quite similar to this because there's a bit of a revenge plot in there, but she's part of the law.
Yeah, these sort of types of films aren't unusual in the UK. The difference, I think, or one primary difference, is that most British films like that are shot on an incredibly low budget
Mm.
and aren't very cinematic. Even ones that are made theatrically tend to look like TV movies.
Yeah, yeah.
This looks like a proper movie.
Mm.
It's very well shot. It's got a lot of like kind of cool color grading. The name's Blue Ruin, and there's definitely a theme going on color wise throughout the movie.
It,
Blue is a motif.
I don't know why. The shooting or some of the shots reminded me quite a lot of Rubber. Maybe it was the lighting or like some of that stuff. I was just like, this has a real Rubber kind of feel to me.
Yeah, I can see that. It's actually it's a very pretty movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a very brutal movie in that, like, when, like, I mean, say the murder at the beginning, for instance, when he kills Wade, it holds nothing back. It's actually quite refreshing because usually there'd be some sort of cutaway.
Yeah,
You see maybe blood splatter onto a surface or something. No, you just see it spraying out the dude's temple.
Yeah,
like,
he like literally gets stabbed in the face, and then the actor just kind of like goes,
yeah,
and like twitches a little bit as he dies.
yeah. Every death in the movie is kind of like that. Like you see that shit.
Yeah,
It's
it's all pretty visceral. I like the realistic side in sometimes with violence when a character is visibly disturbed by the fact that they have now just partaken in like extreme violence.
mm-hmm.
So there's scenes where Dwight will pull up at the side of the road and just be sick.
Yeah,
Because somebody just died in front of you, man.
and can I also point out that even the throwing up scene doesn't hold anything back.
Oh yeah,
Like, to the point where I'm like, how did they actually fake that?
yeah. Like there's a good spit trail on that. Like it's pretty hard to fake that.
So that's like in like the movie. I know we actually nearly watched this, but the movie Filth.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene in that with vomiting, and James McAvoy is really vomiting in it because he can do that on command.
Oh sweet.
Like Adam from
Yeah, I was just saying why
Sucks,
this was just like
yeah. So it could be that. I think there is some sort of trickery there, but it's well done. However they did it, and yeah, it doesn't hold it back. It's done like just a continuous shot. You're not seeing it hit the floor, and it's just continuous one steady camera.
Yep.
Just looking right at it.
Like I think for me that it's quite interesting. Shaky cam or handheld cameras are often used a lot to try and add realism, quote unquote, to a scene. Like, there's so much action going on. Quick, let's make it shaky. And this movie doesn't do that at all.
No.
Everything is either on a very stationary or very purposeful if there's like any pans or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that for me, I found that actually just added an extra level of clarity that made it far more real. I could just engage with the characters significantly more because I'm just watching what's happening, not having my senses potentially be tricked by going, oh, look, this is chaotic, you panicking, look, everything's wobbling.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy with the fact that they did not use shaky cam. At least I don't remember a shaky cam shot.
No, I can't think of any. It's all, like I say, like you said, it's all very sort of purposeful in how it's shot. I have a feeling this was like a very very strictly sort of storyboarded shoot. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like it. And yeah, I think it does benefit from it because it's more like, especially during those types of scenes, like I say, like the violence scenes, because it makes it so much more visceral. Like I say, because you're used to seeing it cut away, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost going, oh no, if you want to not see this, you have to be the one to look away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, we're not going to do that for you. And that's it. Also adds to the fact that, and that's a very big sort of, I don't want to say message of the movie, but definitely theme in the movie is, no, these are people that are dying.
Yeah.
And that's one thing the movie never lets you forget, is that these are just people.
Yeah. I really like the fact that they give you that reveal that, nah, man, it wasn't Wade who killed your parents. It was like our dad, Wade. So you just get to go, ah, cool. So like Wade was an innocent person and died for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, I guess they technically give you a free get out of jail free card by he's like, yeah, well, like, because what was he's like, that kid, he said Wade would never hurt anyone, and he's like, well, what about not those two niggers wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, well, I guess technically we can be like, it's fine, like he's dead, what scumbag. But
It's also a theme in Jeremy Saulnier's movies, because the bad guys in Green Room are a neo-Nazi skinhead gang.
huh.
Although once again, the protagonists are also white, so it's an interesting thing that he did both times. I didn't really think that until just now. Anyway, no, it's like I say, it's that, yes, he still did bad things, but at the same time, it's like, it means that also Dwight doesn't ever get that kind of redemption moment that he was hoping for.
Mm.
He doesn't get that, like, yeah, I've stopped, I've made things better. I've gotten my revenge. No, he never gets that satisfaction,
Yeah.
because the guy who he wanted revenge on is dead already. So like,
Which again is like a proper real life thing. Like history is just trash. Like when you read it back,
mm-hmm.
I think one of the fun ones is like the history of Japan, and it's like this one guy decided he was going to try and take over all of Japan, and he had like a big strong clan. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, and he attacked this really small clan. And then the small clan won, and the guy was being led by, I can't remember what his name was, but he's like, oh shit, like, and then he's like, and then he was like, I'm gonna take over. So he just started taking over everywhere, and just before like the very end, he got poisoned by one of his friends. He's like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, so I guess we could make this like a movie where like, the two of them are together for most of it, and he's like, he was then killed by some other random guy. And then, like, the Emperor, like, you're like, okay, yeah, you just can't make this cinematic. Like,
yeah.
as a story.
Another movie to put on the list: The Death of Stalin. Very much that type of story. Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, that's definitely more of a realistic thing, because yeah, justice often isn't served,
Yeah.
and also it's just, things aren't that clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
And it would make sense as well, a crime family having like a younger member of the family like take the rap, like that happens.
Yeah. The only thing that's, when you think about it, though, it's actually like, holy shit. I don't know how old that kid is, but, he's like early teens, like, well, mid-teens to like early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that guy, Wade, sorry, who went to prison, he went into prison like
Oh yeah,
for a
like
long
Yeah.
time, which technically it was not even his fault. So this dude was in prison for like maybe 16 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, like for something he didn't even do. Then like on the first day getting out, he just gets murdered. Like,
Mm-hmm.
feel kind of bad for that guy. Except he was a racist, so never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely kind of a fuck thing, especially because, I mean, I guess this guy's supposed to be what, like the same age as Dwight-ish, so
Yeah,
we would
it's never
assume like
explained how the families
so we'd
actually know
assume
each
what,
other.
mid-30s to early 40s, something like that. So yeah, I mean that is basically most of this dude's adult life.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all of his adult life. And he's the one who would do the shortest stint as well.
Yeah, like this is the thing that gets me. Like, I get why they did it because they're like, our dad's got cancer. You can't. I was like, your dad's got cancer. Just send him to prison. Like, do the man thing. Go to jail. Like, and like while you're in jail, um, you just go like, I'm just gonna stop receiving like medicine, man. Like, see you later, guys. Because
Yeah.
he was never gonna outlive it. Like, forget it. He got what he needed.
I do like though that it, like I say, it never gives Dwight any sort of satisfaction because, and that's also cool because it's like, yeah, well, to be honest, revenge it's messy,
Yeah,
and that's I guess kind of the point of the movie is like this shit just gets messy. It's bad
yeah.
and it's cyclical.
Because everyone is like the good guy in their story or circle.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that kid, he's like, he probably just grew up here and like, yeah, Wade's a pretty cool guy. So he's
Hmm.
like, yeah, Wade's awesome, man. And then like Wade gets killed, so he's like, this guy killed like my brother.
Yeah,
So of course he's gonna shoot him with a shotgun. Like,
yeah. Also, he's got a gun. Like he just killed my other brother, and he's got a gun pointed at like my mum and my sister.
yeah, this is the only thing for me that I was like, wait, what? Because that guy, he's like, hey, I'm pretty sure my gun's got more bullets than yours. He's obviously got a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah,
The younger brother. The thing that I was mostly questioning was, but like now he's pointing at the rifle length gun at your well, mum and sister.
yeah.
Why the hell would you not just be like, fuck you, crazy
I
douchebag,
think it's
and just
probably
attack
just
him?
that he was so like emotional and fuck like shit. I've just shot somebody to like deal because he just seems to have a bit of a breakdown. The kid, like pretty immediately, is like I don't like this. He didn't want to shoot him to begin with either, so he's
Yeah,
like kind of freaked out and just is like, okay, see ya. Or not, because you're definitely gonna be dead soon.
but yeah, like he totally like walks away, and then as that last shootout happens, like he kind of looks back and then carries on walking because
Mm-hmm.
what was it? Dwight's like, "Hey,
I left the
there's
keys in the
yeah, the
car.
kid left the keys in the car, and it's just over here. You should go drive off." Like they didn't come in their own car, so he could just take that one.
Yeah,
But yeah, the thing I was mainly thinking is, if I was that kid and I heard that shootout happen, and my mum and my sister are in there, I'd be like, I'm going back to see if they're alive.
yeah, but
Uh,
ultimately it does still have the idea of like Dwight did kind of end the circle of violence because the kid drops the gun. He doesn't
yeah.
go like Afro Samurai.
He's like, now I have to kill that lady and like her kids.
To be fair, that's not even a revenge mission at that point. Not when the guy who you're trying to get the revenge on is already dead, because it's like he wouldn't even know. So like it's just to be a dick.
Like, and finally I've won, like killing this lady and like her children. Like,
But yeah, no, it's like I say, very very good movie.
I'm always surprised when something like this is on Netflix. Like, I don't know why. I guess sometimes I just assume only big dumb action movies like will really ever live or survive on Netflix, but no, they do put out like quite diverse.
Yeah, I mean this, like I say, this movie. I don't think it ever got really any fanfare, but because Green Room did really well, I
Hmm.
think it's ultimately meant that Solnier's previous movies,
I've gotten a bit of a
particularly
look in.
because I don't know if Murder Party's on Netflix. I know it was at some point. I don't think Green Room ever was. See, I saw Blue Ruin first. I saw it before I
Hmm.
saw Green Room. that was kind of my introduction to him as a director. And it's, yeah, like I say, his other films, it's definitely that same kind of idea. Like I say, I think the most refreshing thing, as we mentioned, is just that type of story, that type of grounded sort of storytelling being done on such a cinematic level, because it's so not American. Which actually, thinking about it, I think Jeremy Saulnier might be Canadian, so that might have something to do with it. I don't know, but don't quote me on that if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think doing it on such a, like I say, it feels like not a Hollywood movie, but like certainly a decently budgeted movie. I mean, it could have, although thinking about it, in reality, it could have been done on a very low budget and looked the same.
Yeah.
It's a very small cast. There are no elaborate locations. I think it's literally just how it's shot that makes it look more cinematic, which I think says a lot. Just by doing that, it makes me think of bigger budgets.
Yeah, because it's all like pretty simple locations,
Yeah.
like props wise.
In fact, thinking about it, I reckon I don't know the budget. My guess would be somewhere around the 1 million mark, which is a low budget movie. Like that's I think Paranormal Activity was around that. So
yeah,
pretty low budget in the grand scheme of things. In us terms, that's like, holy shit, you could do anything.
I know.
Think about how many tennis playing cyborgs you could put in this movie for that sort of money. This is crazy.
Hey man, think about how many like swarms of attacking birds you could get in there. It's like, this really looks like a $10 million picture to you. Yeah.
From a distance. From a distance.
Or like from another room.
We need to do Birdemic on this show.
Yeah. Birdemic's good.
Anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the movie?
Like, again, it's nice to see a movie with a simple premise, but it's told interestingly, rather than just generically like, damn it, these guys killed my parents. I almost went into a Birdemic there. Yeah, it's told quite interestingly. So you got the intrigue. There's like a couple of aha moments where you feel like a bit of a detective figuring stuff out.
Yeah, definitely.
But things remain quite consistent and like well put together. So.
I always appreciate in general when there is a revenge movie that isn't just completely cliche. Because the thing is, revenge is like, let's be real, it's like the easiest story to do. And as a result, it's really easy to just get completely lost in cliche. The amount of just shitty Death Wish clones out there, probably including all the Death Wish sequels, thinking about it, that are just, there's absolutely no creativity to them whatsoever.
I've already got it. A rom-com revenge movie. So like the whole film is like, it's set up like a romantic comedy, and then like, the romance happens or something, and then the guy's like, this is what you get for like betraying me or something like one time. And she's like, what? And he just like dumps her or something, and he like just leaves. Like that's just the whole movie. It just sounds like a rom-com. In fact, like, I like the idea. Like, I think I heard this. Somebody tell me that this happened once. These two guys knew each other from one of my old workplaces, and then one guy, I can't remember their names, so I'm just going to make them up and say Daryl and Kevin. So Daryl hooked up with Kevin's sister, so as a way to get revenge, Kevin got somebody else to hook up with Daryl's sister and be like, Kevin says his regards or something ridiculous. Like, Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like, yeah, man. And like, that was a thing. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, you guys are fucking weird.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So we could do that as a revenge movie.
Yeah.
But set up as a rom-com.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with everyone. They're like, what? This is nowhere near the kind of movie I was expecting. Like, why this dark turn all of a sudden?
Everything's so light up until that point.
just to destroy everyone. Like, everyone comes out of it unhappy. Like, because that's the way like the movie ends. Like, there's no fucking like payoff for anyone.
Just a weird down note. Like,
this awful down note. Just a person's really unhappy because of what happened. They thought they had a good relationship. Nope. And like everyone in the audience is like, wait, you just ruined the movie for this?
I think what's funny as well is that like that could almost quite easily be the setup for a rom-com. Like, that could be like the opening thing, but instead it's the end. So it's just like, yeah, that's pretty amazing. To be fair, I quite like that.
I also personally find the story kind of funny. It's horrible. It's not funny. It's horrible, but it's just the sheer amount of collateral damage.
Yeah,
like that. Look, why? That's needlessly horrible. Why would you do that?
Oh man, I kind of want to make that movie now. That's fucking insane. So, in conclusion, you should watch Blue Ruin if you haven't already, because it's good. Till next time, Ian Beale.
Ian Beale.
So you've made it to the end. I am impressed. That means me and Max did a good thing. If you could do us a favour, like give us all of your money, well, if you're not going to do that, please like, comment and subscribe. And sharing is caring. Thanks. Ian Beale.